The Monday, March 20th, 2023 regular meeting of the Gardner City Council will come to order. The clerk will please call the roll.
Council Boone?
Present.
Council Craig Cormier?
Present.
Council Rana Cormier?
Present.
Council John Lowitz?
Present.
Council Hardern? Council Heath?
Present.
Council Math?
Present.
Council Chisholm?
Present.
Council Tyros? Council Walsh?
Present.
And President Kazinskas.
Present. Please rise to recite the opening prayer and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Almighty
God, we thank thee for bringing us together this evening. Inspire us to worthy deeds and sound decisions, and direct us toward the attainment of good city government. We pray thee to bless and protect all the people of our city, and to so guide and inspire us that we may deliberate in unity and harmony. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Announcement of open meeting recordings. Any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of a meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium, subject to reasonable requirements of the chair as to the number, placement, and operation of equipment used so as not to interfere with the conduct of the meeting. Any person intending to make such recording shall notify the chair forthwith. All documents and exhibits used or referenced at the meeting must be submitted in duplicate to the chair as they become part of the meeting minutes pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, subsection 20. Is anyone here recording tonight's meeting? We will begin with the reading and approval of the prior meeting's minutes of December 5th, 2022 regular meeting, December 19th, 2022 regular meeting, January 3rd, 2023 regular meeting, January 10th, 2023 special meeting, January 17th, 2023 regular meeting, February 6th, 2023 regular meeting, February 21st, 2023 informal meeting, and February 21st, 2023 regular meeting. Councilor Ron Cormier.
Madam President, I make a motion that we waive the reading of the minutes listed and accept them as presented.
Second the motion.
Motion made by Councilor Ron Cormier, seconded by Councilor Walsh to waive the reading of the minutes listed and accept them as presented. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The motion passes. There are no public hearings. Communications from the mayor. Communications, item 10944, a notification from the mayor regarding FY 2024 Chapter 90 funding. Report from the Finance Committee, Councilor Ron Cormier.
Finance Committee reviewed this. We thank the mayor for providing us with this information. The governor's office said we'd be receiving about $596,000 from Chapter 90 funds. It would be nice if it was increased by a lot more than it is. This is what we rely upon for part of our road resurfacing programs, but I make a motion that we place the letter on file.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Ron Cormier, seconded by Councilor Jonah Lowitz to place the notification on file. Is there discussion on the motion? Councilor Walsh.
Just wondering if there's any indication whether this amount for the for the current funding is more or less or the same as prior years. If there's any indication of that.
Councilor Ron Cormier.
I don't know if the exact amount has changed, but I noticed the bonding amount proposed by the governor is the same as in prior years, so I doubt that it's changed appreciably.
And the reason I ask, if I may, is that the director, Public Works Director, indicated that there had been actually an actual reduction in the amount of Chapter 90 money that he was anticipating receipt of. Well, that's unfortunate to hear. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. Item 10945, a notification from the mayor regarding preliminary cherry sheet figures for FY 2024. Report from the Finance Committee, Councilor Ron Cormier.
Finance Committee received this, and we thank again the mayor for providing with this. This is from the governor's office and BLS. Does indicate that our estimated charges will be reduced a little bit, and we're going to receive a fairly significant increase in revenue, primarily, I think, in the schools department account. Of course, this is all subject to appropriation by the legislature. But I make a motion that we place the letter on file.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Ron Cormier, seconded by Councilor Jonah Lowitz to place a notification on file. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. Item 10946, a measure authorizing an intermunicipal agreement between City of Gardner and Town of Ashburnham for wastewater collection, treatment, and disposal. Report from the Finance Committee, Councilor Journalowitz.
Thank you, Madam President. The Finance Committee did meet on this item. We have some further questions that we need to resolve. So also, this falls under the purview of the Public Service Committee as well. So I would like to make a motion to refer to both the Finance Committee and the Public Service Committee.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Journalowitz, seconded by Councilor Ron Cormier to refer the item to the Finance Committee and the Public Service Committee for further study and report. Is there discussion on the motion? Councilor Walsh?
I'd be looking forward to, as Chair of the Public Service Committee, to look into this. I know that there's an existing, or there was an agreement, an intermunicipal agreement for these services that has expired. And I know that there appeared to have been some problems with compliance by the Town of Ashburnham with the terms of that prior agreement. So I'm anxious to find out what the status of those, that apparent problem has been and what the status of it is at the current time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion passes. Item 10947, a measure authorizing an intermunicipal agreement between the City of Gardner and Town of Hubbardston for animal control services. Report from the Finance Committee, Councilor Journalowitz.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a renewal of the intermunicipal agreement that we currently have with Hubbardston. There's a 2% increase for each year of the agreement. Finance Committee was in favor, and I move the authorization.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Journalowitz, seconded by Councilor Ron Cormier to grant the authorization. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. Appointments, item 10949, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Bryant Pawlowski to the position of permanent police officer. Councilor Walsh?
Move the item be referred to the Appointments Committee for study and report.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Walsh, seconded by Councilor Mack to refer the item to the Appointments Committee for further study and report. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. Item 10950, a measure confirming the mayor's appointment of Angel Estrada to the position of permanent police officer.
If I may, Madam President,
Councilor Walsh?
move the item be referred to the appointment be referred to the Appointments Committee for study and report.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Walsh, seconded by Councilor Mack to refer the item to the Appointments Committee for further study and report. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. Petitions, applications, communications, etc. Item 10951, an open meeting law complaint filed by Paul DeMeo regarding city council meeting minutes. Councilor Journalowitz?
Thank you, Madam President. I move to accept the proposed letter by the Law Department where we will be inserting the appropriate committee and appropriate dates of the meeting minutes that have been completed.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Journalowitz, seconded by Councilor Heath to accept the proposed response from City Solicitor Flick and complete it with the appropriate information, including dates, city council, title, and meeting minutes.
That is correct.
Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. Reports of standing committees. Safety Committee, item 10861, an ordinance to amend the Code of the City of Gardner, Chapter 600, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Section 42, entitled One-Way Street. Councilor Craig Cormier?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. We'd asked for more time on this so that the chief of police could use his capabilities to enact this as a 60-day trial period. I spoke to the chief this morning, and they had postponed doing that until April 1st at this time because of the snowstorm and all the piles of snow that needed to be dealt with before that. So his current plan is to enact that April 1st and alert the residents thereof. So therefore, I asked for more time on this item.
If there is no objection, the committee will be granted more time. The committee will be granted more time. Service Committee, item 10909, a petition by National Grid and Verizon New England Incorporated Cross Street to install 4 jointly owned poles on Cross Street beginning at a point approximately 15 feet north of the center line of the intersection of Lawrence Street and Cross Street, and continuing approximately 800 feet in a west direction, install 4 new poles on Cross Street. Counselor Walsh?
Yes, Service Committee continues to await additional information from National Grid regarding this particular petition. We haven't received anything as yet, in spite of efforts by the city engineer to communicate our concerns and requests for additional information. So the committee requests more time.
If there is no objection, the committee will be granted more time. The committee will be granted more time. Welfare Committee, item 10891, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Gardner, Chapter 675 thereof, entitled Zoning, to change the classification of certain parcels of land along Route 140. Counselor Mack?
Yes, Madam President, on items 10891, 10892, 10893, the zoning board was not able to meet on March 14th due to the inclement weather. They will be meeting on this Wednesday, so the planning board in the joint public hearing of the City Council has been rescheduled to April 3rd at 6:30, so we request more time on these three items.
If there is no objection, the committee will be granted more time on item 10891, 10892, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Gardner, Chapter 675 thereof, entitled Zoning, to add sports betting to the zoning table of uses. And item 10893, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Gardner, Chapter 675 thereof, entitled Zoning, to amend Section 1070 thereof, entitled Marijuana Establishments, to increase the quota allowed by the code of the City of Gardner. The committee will be granted more time. Unfinished business and matters for reconsideration, item 10885, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Gardner, Chapter 171 thereof, entitled Personnel, to change compensation schedule 1, yearly salaries, mayor, city councilors, and school committee. Counselor Donalowitz?
I move to send the ordinance to second and final printing.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Donalowitz, seconded by Counselor Mack, to send the ordinance to second and final printing. Is there a discussion on the motion? The clerk will please call the roll.
Counselor Boone?
Yes.
Counselor Craig Cormier?
Yes.
Counselor Rhonda Cormier?
Yes.
Counselor Donalowitz?
Yes.
Counselor Heath?
Yes.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Tissot?
Yes.
Counselor Walsh?
Yes,
And President Kazinskas?
Yes.
9 yeas.
9 yeas, the motion passes. Item 10906, an ordinance to amend the code of the City of Gardner by adding a new Chapter 502 to be entitled Mobile Food Operations, which chapter provides for the regulations for operating food truck services in the city. Counselor Craig Cormier?
Yes, I move to send the ordinance to second and final printing.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Craig Cormier, seconded by Counselor Tassone, to send the ordinance to second and final printing. Is there discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The motion passes. Moving into new business, Counselor Heath.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to say happy first day of spring. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Donalowitz?
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Mack?
I just want to commend the DPW for all the hard work last week during the storm and the 30 inches of snow we got. I think they did an outstanding job, and I think throughout the winter that they've really done great work, especially being understaffed. So I just want to, thank them publicly, and other than that, I have no new business this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Tassone?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I will echo what Councilor Mack just stated, and not only that, I drove around in Ward 3 today, and we have been removing piles of snow from corners to ensure that the bus stops are clear. So we are working through that, and throughout the storm, I'm sure we all fielded some calls, but they're doing an outstanding. DPW is doing an outstanding job this winter, and I thank them for the job well done and the long hours put in. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Craig Cormier?
Yes, we were able to attend Gardner High School's school musical this weekend, and I'd just like to commend all of the students, crew, and staff that were involved. They did a fine performance. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Boone?
Thank you, Madam President. No new business. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Walsh?
I have nothing new this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Ron Cormier?
I have nothing this evening. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Counselor. I have nothing this evening. I'll entertain a motion on the floor to adjourn after the closing prayer.
No moved.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Boone, seconded by Counselor Mack. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes.
Almighty Father, who sees over all As we adjourn, we thank thee for the opportunity of joint deliberation and action witnessed during the course of this meeting. Bless us, O Lord, all who are gathered here, and the peoples whose representatives we are, and do thou attend to our common welfare until our next meeting. Amen.
Meeting stands adjourned.
Spent more time-
Thank you.